With the huge variety of stuff that is on the shelves behind me on my set, I will periodically get requests to, hey, what's that? What's that? Can you do a video highlighting this? And normally I won't take time out of my production schedule to turn around and look at a thing on my shelf behind me, but as I record this, we are just a few hundred subscribers away from hitting that crazy 100,000 subscriber milestone, for which I'm incredibly humbled and grateful. And so I thought I would take this opportunity to do something weird and unusual and give you a tour of Studio G, the set here where I do all my production work. Hey there, welcome back to Gen X Grown Up. I'm John and I am a Gen X Grown Up. Thank you for taking the time to click on this weird, unusual video, but I hope, for some it'll be entertaining. For some, why is this guy boring me with the junk on his shelf? For which I get, which is why I never did it until now. So, as I mentioned, we're about to cross the 100,000 subscriber milestone. In fact, as you're watching this, I won't make this live until we do. So as you're watching this, we are now at 100,000 subscribers, and that's because of you and people like you who click on our videos and thumbs up and share and all the stuff that YouTube wants you to do to recommend someone. And it's been a tremendous journey, and it's only it's the end of phase one of the journey. It's not a finish line. It's just moving into the next lap. So. We'll talk a little bit more about the milestone before I leave at the end of this video. But for now, let's take a tour. You see it all the time behind me. What is in this collection of junk that's behind me that makes up this colorful tableau that you see out of focus behind me typically? So this is a converted guest bedroom. So Studio G, I've nicknamed it, G for guest room. And I have a little on-air light on the door to let people know when I'm recording. And when you come in, here it is. On the left-hand side, walls of stuff. The right-hand side, my camera and my work table. A vast majority of the things that you see me shoot, I'm shooting right here on this table. But just behind that, to my back, if we turn around here, this is the set. You can see how small this room is. I don't know, it's like 12 by 12 or something. It's a very small space. I just try to shoot it to make it look a little larger, but I don't know that it comes across. All right, so what I want to do is let's give you a tour of the different sections of this set, and I'll highlight individual kind of areas and what I was going for and what's behind me that you can't see most of the time. As you'll quickly see, it's all a little bit haphazard, so we'll just start up here at the top left and work our way across and down, and if there's something that we'd expand on, ask me in the comments, of course. So up here you see this all the time in the corner. These are Street Fighter 2 Pix Bricks models that you can buy as individual models, and then you stick them all together. They're just the select screen from Street Fighter 2. Below that, there's my Lego Atari 2600. That's the Ghostbusters popcorn bucket from, was it Afterlife or Frozen Empire? Frozen Empire. It just came out. Across here, this head was a bust for some Planet of the Apes collection, and it came with a monkey and the discs were jammed in the back, so I just like him up there because I like Planet of the Apes. This is more from the Atari 2600 set. Of course, 2XL is hiding out over here, and you can see there's that arcade 1-up Pong countercade that I reviewed some time ago. A lot of what you see up here is stuff I have reviewed and then just threw on the set to talk about, really. Then I have my Rubik's Cube down here, and that's populated with a bunch of Rubik's Cubes. I kind of tried to theme each of these boxes of kind of things I collect, because I have a lot of little collections, but no big collections. So just different puzzle cubes in there. There's some fuzzy dice hanging off of 2XL. This was kind of my media cube. You can see in there I've got, what is that, N64 Star Fox VHS and some old VHSs. There's some cassette tapes and floppy disks. For some reason I have this Ecto Cooler in there, just something I found. There's a vintage Lego. I did a video about that once, in fact. Now up top here, before I move on, I should point out, you probably see this all the time. That's the Atari XP 50th anniversary cartridge line. And then once I completed that, I just kept stacking more stuff up there. So, here's like the Butcher Billy collection, and then some of my Audacity games and other just stuff I have gotten up there. There's actually a 2600 hiding back there, along with just some other paraphernalia. There's a book and some other stuff. Right down here, this is my, it was just going to be my Dark Tower cube. This is the 81 Milton Bradley game, and you can see there's a couple of figures back here. I think a dragon is back there, and I threw some more stuff in. This starts to be the stuff you can't see very often because I'm standing in front of it. So over here, just a Double Dragon shadow box. Here's some of the little pieces from the Lego Atari 2600, as well as an Atari Touch Me. is hiding back there that you likely never see. Sliding over here to the top of the right side of the set is, this is my stack of, it started as just vintage board games. You can see there's Berserk and Zaxxon, Defender, Stop Thief, some other stuff in there. Elixir is in there, that's not video game based, but it's from the 80s. And then just kind of became more stuff. Wildfire is up there, and you can see there's Tron hanging out. This is kind of my $6 Million Man. Some of my collection, there's Maskatron and Steve and Oscar. He's not related, but Pulsar I used to play with my $6 Million Man. Down here is a little Insecto guy. What's he from, Micronauts or something? I forget what he's called, but I always had one of those as a kid and I reclaimed it. And then Bigfoot's over here because I like Bigfoot, and he was a big part of the $6 Million Man. And then just some random stuff over here is a box of Count Chocula, Pac-Man phone, some of my art books. I think I can probably show the rest of these cubes two at a time. A lot of the stuff you saw on previous videos. There's the Einstein, there's that Cubert that I refurbed, the Activision plug and play. There's a light back there. I once had this idea that I would backlight everything, but it didn't work out that way. I really enjoy collecting these old vintage collector's glasses, so I just have a little stair step back there and I have a few of them. Some Pac-Man, I see King Kong back there, and Burger King, some other stuff in there. To the right of that, I've got my D&D shelf, which is, these are all my original Dungeons & Dragons books. And if you can go in there and find my old player sheets and stuff from the mid-'80s, some of the Choose Your Own Adventure books that they put out in that series. And then I got this little, I don't know, probably from Wish or somewhere. It's a mimic, right? So it's a chest with teeth on it. And then I used to have my dice up here. In fact, they are down here a little bit, you can see, but you couldn't see them. So I got these giant dice just to offset that. And then we start to get over here where you've probably seen this plenty of times. This is Gobo Fraggle. It's a hand puppet that I got from Denver's 5280s, whatever the name of that store is in Denver. I picked that up. There's a Coke can with GenXGrownUp on it. And just a random stuff tucked back in there. The Hong Kong Phooey book, I think. Yeah. Down here below Gobo, I was just looking for something to put in this box, and I realized that I couldn't stack them evenly in here, these old 2600 cartridges, but I found out you can make a nice, like, brickwork pattern out of them. And every once in a while I need one, and I pull it out of there and it becomes a mess. So it's kind of a mess. Then to the side of it over here, of course, is my Viewmaster window, including a Super Impulse tiny one over here. Where's that? Right there. A couple of vintage ones, plus this big box of Viewmaster stuff you used to get probably for Christmas or something. So we work our way back to the left across this second tier. You'll start to see more stuff that appeared in other videos that I gotta store it somewhere, so it ends up on my wall here. But this Pac-Man hand puppet from like 83 or 82 or something. And then this kid's toy, like you spin it and try to catch the balls in Pac-Man's mouth. There's my 7-Eleven socks and just some random stuff back there because I had nowhere to put it. And then of course you probably recognize all this stuff from recent videos. There's Scramble, there's that handheld Space Invaders with a mirror, Alien Attack, things like that. As I get them and I review them, I'm just like, you know, I want to keep, I'm not done. I want to still enjoy looking at them at least periodically. So I end up on the set here. Back over on the left here on this second tier. So back here you never see this, but here's another Bigfoot hiding back there. What else? There's the Miss Pac-Man that I once reviewed. There's another product, Miss Pac-Man plug and play, that I reviewed, and just some random stuff in there. Look, there's my little Tormenture cartridge down there. Over on this side is just mostly, well, not all, mostly sealed boxes that I have, but not all. There's Casino and Gorf is sealed and Burger Time is sealed, but most of these are just, they were just colorful. They look good here, and then some random cartridges ended up there because I knew that I'd mostly be covering this. You wouldn't see it, so it didn't matter exactly what was there. Sliding over here to the left, this cube is really all about my love for pulp heroes. There's the Shadow, and there's the Rocketeer, some more Rocketeer stuff back there. There's a cup, and what is that, like a glove with Shadow collector's pins. And this bust that I recently got, which I've been dying for, it's like limited to 1,000 pieces. And I wanted to put it on the set, even though it has nothing to do with gaming, because my love for Gen X is more than just the video games. I want my set to reflect that, because we cover all those sorts of things on the podcast elsewhere. Now, over here, of course, I've done a video on this. This is a Whammo magic window. It has that sand in it. When you turn it, it makes little cool patterns. And it was by itself in here, it just looked too small, so I put it up on a little shelf and added some little Lego, what are these, like arcade machines you can build? I think I did shorts on those at one point. There's a deck of cards down there. Now, the further down we go, we're down on this third level, the more cluttered it gets, because you usually don't see down this low really, but tucked over in this corner, this is my Donkey Kong cube. So I have like a can koozie in there and a big, there's a cookie jar with DK on it. There's a Pez back there. And just stuff. There's some Donkey Kong trading cards over here. At some point, I think I did a video on this. This is a, a Joust snow globe. I'm sure I did a video on that. And then I have so many coffee table books. I just started stuffing them in here. I have more on the other side too that we'll get to in a second. But I mean, a lot of it's gaming, some wacky packages in there. Hey, there's some Bob D 7800 homebrew stacked up there. That's pretty awesome. To the right of that, 2 more cubes. This one is my Atari computer cube, and it's just some stuff I had laying around that was, well, except this auto race, but you know, there's some Atari books of cassettes in there. There's Atari Writer and a few cartridges. And then this one over here, I literally knew would almost never be seen. So it's covered up by these towers of cartridges, but back there, there's a plug and play, a jigsaw puzzle down there, and a couple, I think there's a mug that I got from Five Below, a Pac-Man mug. And then just a stack of recently acquired cartridges that I found these cool stands at a convention, and I'm like, let's put them on the set and fill them with stuff, including, look, that's a GenXGrownUp game. I wonder what that game is. Sliding on over here to the 3rd row on the right-hand side. Again, stuff you never see, right? But there's, I got some color forms in there. There's some Pac-Man games that I reviewed at some point. Just some nice colorful stuff that stacks there. And here under this Pac-Man's feet, there's a Coleco Donkey Kong that, this was the box of the one that I got for Christmas a couple of years ago. I think I put the old one in there and I kept the, I forget, anyway. It looks good on the, it's a Coleco box. I think it looks great there. Then just to the right of that, I mentioned I had a whole bunch of art books. There they are, coffee table books and stuff, more and more in there. I have anywhere to put them. And then over here are just a bunch of recent 7800 releases, some of the re-releases that came with the 7800 Plus, and the cartridge in there. There's a Retron hiding in there. A set of keyboard controllers that I've rarely ever used, but they're still in the box, and I stashed those there because I thought they looked nice. So just below all of that, here is my shame. This is so many things that don't fit on the shelf and you never see, and they're all just lined up here on the floor. You can see a lot of stuff that we've reviewed recently. There's that bowling game over there. There's a caveman. Some more things from flea markets that I haven't had a chance to do yet. There's a Star Wars game over there. There's the Bambino football hiding up there. It's just, these are like things I've either just reviewed or thinking about reviewing, or it's a pile. You can see there's a big pile of My Arcade stuff that I had reviewed when they came out last year, and they just kind of piled up there because they wouldn't fit on the set anymore. Things or projects that are like halfway done end up sitting down here where you can't see them. And over the left-hand side, pretty much the same situation. I want to get back to this someday. There's the 400 mini press kit that I'm like, what do I do with that cool box? I don't know yet what to do with it. And then over here on the bottom of this shelf, just stuff piled up probably, 2 foot deep in front of the shelving, because I haven't gotten around to figure out where to put it or what to do with it. And so it's always on to the next video. So I set it down here and it accumulates, and that's the kind of pack rat that I am. I know people have made note of all the different ball caps that I have. Well, most of them are hanging up here on this wall for me. Whenever I come in here to shoot a video, I just look on the wall and go, which ball cap do I want now? And I grab one off the wall and hang the other one up, and there's too many, as you can see. There's a bunch of them over here just piled up because I'm out of places to hang them, really. To the left of that, I just want to show you, this is my camera. This is what I'm looking at when I'm looking at you, when you're looking at me. I'm still looking right into that camera. Sometimes there's a prompter there with my notes on it, sometimes not, but you can see the lens right through there. It sits here pretty much on this tripod year-round. I don't move it, and right in the corner there, shooting toward the set that we just toured. And over here to the left of the camera, this is where I shoot the majority of my hands-on videos, my reviews and stuff like that. I stand right here at this table, turn the lights around, shine them down on the desk, and use the tripod I'm using now to shoot whatever I'm talking about that I'm producing a video on, and that's where it is, right in front of this fake brick wall on this desk. There's a close-up shot, and in between a laptop or a computer over here and my little monitor over there, just sandwiched in there. If I need more space, I'll move those off the table. Most of the time I can just shoot in this open area here in the middle like you normally see. And then finally, since I'm showing everything, I'll just show more of my dirty laundry over here. Pile of stuff that I have worked on recently or gonna get back to or need in a pinch sometimes. I just pile up on this box full of stuff from, literally it's Bionicle stuff, Lego stuff. And then a giant pile of Atari stuff in a couple of bins down there. In case I can't find it anywhere else, it's probably in there. And you might be asking, why is there a crazy, spooky mannequin in the corner? Well, that's GenX Jenny. That's my mascot. I inherited her. My daughter used to use this mannequin to do cosplay costumes and stuff. And then when she moved out, she's like, I don't want it because it's spooky. So I just, I got her some clothes, gave her a 400 mini t-shirt, crazy wig, and she just stands here. Somebody to talk to, somebody to hang out with, and she doesn't say too much, so she's a good production companion. Now, I thought this would be a particularly appropriate time to give you a tour of my set and my studio because, so they tell me, when you cross this milestone, YouTube sends you some kind of a little plaque or something, little silver play button thing, and you got to do the YouTube thing and put it on the set somewhere behind you. So I'm going to do some reorganization and figure what I'm going to move and where it's going to go and how obvious is it, is behind, all that stuff. Look, I'm not counting that chicken yet. It'll come. For now, though, I figured since it's going to change and I've got to reorganize, it's a good time to do a snapshot of what it was like and give you a peek at what I do, what space I work in to create the video content that I deliver to you every week. It's been, I hate to talk about it in the past tense, but there's almost like this separation between everything up to now and everything after now. But really, it's a continuum. Having reached this milestone is tremendous, but the next day is go back to work and make another video and hope you enjoy it. But it's been, over the last couple of years especially, as I've been focusing on this full time, it's been just a remarkable outpouring of predominantly, hugely, like 99% predominantly positive vibes. It's the internet, so. But it's been so gratifying and so rewarding, and to get here is just, we're just grateful, very grateful. On behalf of my colleagues, Mo and George and myself, of course, I'm thankful every time you click and thumbs up and comment and whatever it is, however you engage and enjoy with the stuff that we make, whether it's videos here or our podcast or website or whatever. It all adds to making this hobby something that I can do continually and keep creating this stuff. And for those of you that enjoy it, I'm happy that you do, and I'll keep trying to do more and keep trying to improve and see what comes next. Thanks for popping in to check out this studio tour commemorating our 100,000 subscriber milestone. Very grateful for you always, and especially today. I hope you found something to enjoy in this video. Can't wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.